Ladies and gentlemen, we invited the first speaker from the proponent side to start their debating.
Kurt Lewin once said, learning is more effective when it is an active rather than a passive process. This quote is very related with our topic debate today, which is face-to-face interaction with lecturers more effective than online sessions and lectures? Before we go through, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all beloved people who are watching us. I'm Syazwani as a speaker, and I bring my two friends, which is AWANG SHAHPUTRA and HAZWANI NAJIHAH as the debaters. We are from proponent side. We'll give the best point to support face-to-face interaction with lecturers is more effective than online session and lectures. Ladies and gentlemen, I will come up with 4 definition keyword. According to Collins English Dictionary, face-to-face can be defined as opposite one another and in confrontation. Next, interaction definition according to Oxford Lexico is as a communication or direct involvement with someone. Then, according to Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary, a lecturer is someone who teaches at a university or college. Last but not least, according to Cambridge Dictionary, effective can be defined as the ability to be successful and produce the intended results. Ladies and gentlemen, active learning such as teach others, practice doing and discussion are mostly used in face-to-face interaction with the lecturers, while passive learning methods such as audiovisual, reading and lectures much used in online session. As we all know, many students suffer to learning in online session due to the pandemic COVID-19. Face-to-face interaction with lecturers is more easy to them to learn with effective rather than online session. It will be proof that I have found one article from New Straits Times that title is Missing the Campus Experience. To support this argument, I come up one of the statement which is the student said I miss learning face-to-face with my lecturers. It can be proved that a face-to-face interaction with lecturers is more effective than online session and lectures. Ladies and gentlemen, now I leave to my team debaters to giving their point, and we will receive all rebuttal from opponent side at the end of the debate. Thank you.
Nowadays, coronavirus, or may known as COVID-19, has spread all around the world, which gives an impact to the education system. Since its detection, the expansion of COVID-19 has been unstoppable and has reached practically all the countries of the world, affecting millions of people and causing hundreds of thousands of deaths. Therefore, these Generation Z need to be conducted strategically, moreover on ways to impart knowledge through face-to-face learning. Now, this can be seen through the aspect face-to-face helps in organizing for students and their studies. Students can also communicate with their lecturers and other students, as well as see their peers. Now, all of us are well aware that when it comes to face-to-face class, students are advised to dress formally as a sign of respect to their lecturers. And if students lack of discipline, they would still attend the lecturer's class and listen to the lecturers what they are trying to teach on that day. Overall, I would say that online learning makes it more difficult for students to succeed. Why? Because their traditional learning methods are largely obsolete. Now I'm saying this because there will be always a distraction right at their fingertips when it comes to online learning. Students are prone to be slackers when they are at home. Why? Well, we can see that when students attend class through online, they do not dress formally, which lacks of self-discipline.
I am HAZWANI BINTI SABRI as debater who supports the argument on the effectiveness of face-to-face interaction with lecturers compared to online sessions and lectures. As we all know, face-to-face interaction with lecturers is the best method of learning that can bring a host of benefits, especially for students. This is because of face-to-face interaction with lecturers can give a conducive learning environment for students. According to Fraser 1994 and Kilgore 2006, a conducive learning environment can be referred to two types that consist of physical and psychosocial. The researchers have stated that the physical components encompasses all physical aspects, such as classroom, teaching materials, learning facilities, external environment inside and outside the classroom. While the psychosocial is related to the interaction that occurs among students, as well as the interaction between students and lecturers with the environments. Besides, another researcher, which is Song et al. 2020, also stated that environment of learning also influenced by the factor of fresh air, weather, humidity, lighting, and sounds. The researcher also mentioned that the unconducive environment is due to the noise factor, which refers to noisy, even though the condition of room is calm, can have a negative impact as well as being able to influence the academic performance and attendance of students in classes conducted online. Thus, it is clear that the conducive learning environment also leads to students' academic performance, comfortability, and mental health. This can be seen through the aspect of a conducive environment on face-to-face interaction with lecturers compared to online session and lectures. This is because of a conducive environment can provide a high level of students' academic performance. To illustrate, University Malaysia Kelantan UMK students in Pekalan Cepa from the course that focus on food and services like hospitality and wellness have to do learning tutorials in specialized places such as kitchen and spa. Besides, these facilities that provided in the university make students be able to obtain fast information based on the instruction that need face-to-face interaction with lecturers. In contrast, online session and lectures will cause the potential and ability of students to decrease because they are not be able to do the actual tutorial in an effective way due to different environmental factors compared to the university. As we know, the implications of COVID-19 outbreak have forced students to follow open distance learning ODL session at home, where we can see that it has a detrimental effect on students' academic performance because they are unable to follow the learning sessions in a relevant and effective manner. In fact, learning that involves tutorials that should be done by face-to-face cannot be implemented successfully and leads to low students' performance. Besides, the students also will have the problem if learning just conducted online because they will experience more difficulties to get the right information or instructions from the lecturer if the communication is made only online. Even though they can get response on their assignments from the lecturers through social media such as WhatsApp or Telegram, but the lecturer may not provide a fast response and causes them to have to take a long time to find out things related to the assignment. Other than that, a conducive learning environment also can be referred to the facilities provided in the university or other educational institution. This is the important part because it can provide a maximum satisfaction to students due to facilities available such as library, computer labs, where students can require a lot of information. Besides, these facilities are also provided the extensive internet access where students can get the reference sources of online articles such as newspaper and journals. The students also have opportunity to make more references from reading materials such as books, educational magazines, journals, and others. Although students are able to get a lot of information from internet, they still need to make references using reading materials. Thus, students also can save their money from subscribing to internet plans that require high monthly costs to find information on websites. As we all know, open distance learning ODL greatly affects for students, especially for those who live in village where they need to leave home for a while to get a good internet access to find more information about their assignment and even to attend the class on Google Meet or other platforms. Therefore, face-to-face interaction with lecturers more effective than online sessions and lectures.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is FARAH binti FAUZI and I am from the opponent side. I bring along my two friends, Zahrina and also AINDATUL, to support our statement on saying that online learning is better than face-to-face learning. Nowadays, Malaysia has been exposed to a variety of new technologies that are growing in line with other developed countries. Today, many facilities can be accompanied by increasingly sophisticated technology. There are various benefits to the application of technology, especially in daily life. In fact, technology can also be used, especially if there are any problems that prevent face-to-face meetings. Recently, there was a wave of disease outbreak that hit Malaysia, where the outbreak was called COVID-19. Government have been taken some steps on preventing this disease from spreading by launching movement control order, where people are prohibited from going outside their house. This means that people need to stay home, make a self-quarantine, and avoiding involved in outdoor activities, including going to school or college. During this pandemic, technologies are really going to be one of the most helpful mediums in every daily activity, especially for the learning process. We can clearly note that there are a lot of benefits of studying online, including utilizing advanced technology, the flexibility of scheduling, and also with a lower total cost. However, I will let my two friends to explain more about our statement why online learning is better.
Coronavirus pandemic COVID-19 was spread out country and all around the world. It was giving a difficulty to education system to learn face-to-face, but it is not make a big problem to students because they are still can continue their study by the online learning. Without delayed time, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Tuan Zahrina, BINTI Tuan Shahidil Akma, on behalf as an opponent. Let me come to my first argument as an opponent. We already know during this pandemic, almost the entire educational institution had to be postponed and closed. In fact, the step taken is through online learning. Furthermore, most of us are already aware about the use of the advance of sophistication technology. We have many sophistication technology platforms for education like Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Zooms, and so on. Technological sophistication is not limited, although students and lecturers are far away, they still can keep in touch. However, it depends on the internet coverage in each place. Mostly, students are more suffer with this problem, but doesn't matter because students can look back what was taught at class that day by giving pre-recorded lecture or recording class. Moreover, students also can fit them around their existing responsibilities and commitment. Also can engage with multimedia content and learning materials at whatever convenient time. For example, every institution provides basic platform to use. Like University Malaysia Kelantan UMK, they have their own platform which is e-community or e-com to help students get the notes and send their assessment or assignment. So students can simply log in to the virtual campus. In this simple example, we can clearly see that online learning is more effective because of the situation we face now. So because of this, we have support this motion.
In a number of ways, online learning would be the superior option. Online learning typically entailed students reading modules, sending assignments either through email or watching pre-recorded lectures. Today's interactive features such as video meeting lectures or online Q&A session give face-to-face learning a physical experience. Online learning makes a student's scheduling flexibility and also lower total cost. My name is AINDATUL ADABIYAH binti MOHMAD ROSMI as an second opponent. I would like to support the argument about online session and lecture are more effective than face-to-face interaction with lecturers. Online session can involve a degree of scheduling flexibility. It is very good and more suitable to students that need to balance their job and family obligation because there will be no physical classes. While online learning run asynchronously or synchronously to give students the most flexibility in scheduling. As a consequence, using an online training platform makes for a stranger work-study balance, so there is no need to sacrifice something. Students learn important time management skills when studying online, making it easier to strike a healthy work-study balance. Besides, online session make it simple for people to learn regardless of where they live. It's also worth mentioning that since online learning don't need as much staffing as on-site courses, prices are typically lower. Related costs are usually less expensive. Online students such as do not have to pay for transportation. Students are also exempt from having to spend more money on food. If they are at a hostel or at home, they need to spend more money for buying food every day. In addition, they also need to pay the cost for their rented home if they stay at the rent home for every month. But through online learning, students just can stay at their parents' home. It makes for more effective budgeting. So here is the proof that students no need to think about the higher cost by online learning.
Alright, the second opponent has told us about lower cost. Actually, many students incur for the data plan internet every month with the high price. The key important of online session is to have the data internet. If they didn't have enough data, they will face a problem. How can they be effective to learning meanwhile they should facing a high data internet plan?
Okay, thanks to proponents for your question. I am as an opponent still with my opinion that online session and lecture is more effectiveness more than face-to-face session. It is because online session not give a burden to student to think about the course. Yes, of course, by online learning, student will use the high data internet plan for each class, but it not give a big problem to them. It is because nowadays there are many lower package data internet plan that student can purchase to get the unlimited internet. Government also have give a new subsidy to student to purchase the lowest internet data plan. For example, student can purchase only for 35 ringgit to get the unlimited internet data plan for all plans such as Maxis, Digi, Cellcom and the others plan, so that student can facing their online learning session without any problem and they no need to think about the high data internet plan for each class.
Referred to the statement that you give about the face-to-face learning, I would like to ask to one of the proponent side on how to keep students attend class on time during face-to-face class.
Now, regarding to the questions on how do you keep students attend class on time during face-to-face class, well, there is a calendar that shows a month at a glance. Make a month at a glance calendar with all of your important dates on it. Keep track such as your assignments, research papers, reports that are due. Keep note for the dates for final examination, presentation, midterm, and tests. Dates should act as your goal, and checking calendar on a frequent basis might help you keep on track. Second point is developing a semester plan. Why? Well, as you all know, it is an excellent approach that will assist you in reaching your objectives. A precise weekly calendar of activities should be included in the plan. Timetables includes study, eating, activities, and personal care. Strategy for attaining your semester goals, which is adaptable enough to allow you to change your weekly priorities. By following a semester plan, you may develop a good time management skills and train yourself for success.
There are something that need to be addressed when the opponent argument is it depends on internet students coverage. How about students that live in rural areas like Sabah and Sarawak? How they can get the efficiency of learning from online sessions and lectures if they didn't have internet coverage? Obviously, it will make them feel not effective to study and even not interested in joining lecture fully.
Okay, thanks to proponents, but I'm ready to take on my arguments. If students had problem with internet coverage, lecturer need to be tolerated by giving the pre-recording class season. In fact, with the pandemic we face now, and for students who live at rural areas, is a simple example we can see clearly, which is the recent virus news from The Star, 16 July 2020 by Stephanie Lee that said the students, Viviana, who is from a rural village in Sabah, was willing to climb a tree and spend the night to join a class and sit for online exams. But the problem already solved because the government has taken action by building an internet center at that village area, so students can still connect and watch the recorded class. So we have seen that internet coverage is not the main problem. Students cannot join online classes. I think online learning is effective in face-to-face learning because we already have sophistication of technology.
I'm sorry, I have a question for the first proponents. The first proponents have said about course learning is more effective when it is an active rather than passive process. But can you explain what is the proof about that?
Thank you so much for the question, pretty girl. I already give explanation about it on my argument, which that active learning used in many face-to-face interaction with the lecturers because of the method that use such as teach others, practice doing and discussion. I also want to come up with the proof in these strict times, which that the student said, I also think that we can be more open to lecturers remotely in terms of asking question or having discussion. Virtual communication tends to break the barrier between the lecturers and students. It clearly, the face-to-face interaction with the lecturers is more effective than online session and lectures. Thank you so much.
Sorry for interrupting, but I have a question that I would like to address to the opponent side. Now, you have said that through online learning, advanced technologies are provided to keep in touch with students, as well as scheduling flexibility and lower total costs. Now, my question is, how can you convince us this quality online learning?
Online learning has served the largely unrecognized purpose of providing the broadest and most impact educator development program ever conceived. In traditional online program, faculty work closely with a team of non-faculty educators to develop and teach courses. These non-faculty educators include instructional designer, librarians, media educator, assessment expert, and other. In answering this question, I've intentionally used the language of traditional online courses. We need to keep in mind that what higher education has been doing during this COVID-19 is not online education but more to remote education. Remote courses have not had near the level of time, resources, or attention that traditional online program at most schools receive.
I'm sorry, but I have a question for second proponents. There are some things about your speech that need to be addressed. For me, if we have the facilities and sophistication technology, students can study anywhere, unlimited as long as the place is comfortable for them. If students cannot focus or miss the class that day, they still can listen to the recorded class. But in fact, if students studying face-to-face learning, the class cannot be repeated if students left behind. So, what is the factor you said that students not being able to undergo online learning as we are heading towards the age of technological sophistication? Moreover, through this endless COVID-19 pandemic phase.
Yes, please, open insight. We re-explain our main point about conducive learning environment, which also refers to the psychosocial component. Psychosocial is related to the interactions that occurs among students, as well as the interaction between students and lecturers with the environment. Despite the current technological facilities where students can see the lecture in recording form, if the recording is done when the class is online and there is internet interference, it is certain that record will affect the students' learning session. So it is clear that face-to-face interaction with lecturers is more effective than online sessions and lectures.
It seems like we are the proponent side already gave our best point to prove that face-to-face interaction with lecturers is effective than online and lectures. I conclude the first debater from opponent side which that she come up with the point which is sophistication technology to stick their topic. Everyone, online session is too tough because it still faces a problem because my debaters carry bottle the points from opponent side. It's still not efficient because there are many students stay in rural but still don't have an internet coverage. We move to the second debater. She come up with the point flexible schedule and lower total cost. I will say that they failed to give a good argument about our topic today because proponent side carry bottle in for lower total cost. They failed to give a point about the lower total cost due to online session. They just give argument about the benefits of online session that have a lower cost. Is that called effective way? So it's clear, face-to-face interaction with lecturers is more effective than online session and lectures.
Based on the explanation from our side, we can clearly conclude that online studying session is more productive compared to face-to-face interaction study. Since Malaysia is one country that is building towards, it was natural for us to take advantage of all the technology, especially in terms of the amenity in the future. Besides, we also agree that when we said online learning is much better, especially in terms of the flexibility of scheduling. This can be seen when those students will no longer having to rush to go to their college for just 1 hour class. And if in sudden the class need to be cancelled due to the lecturer emergency leave, it will cause another problem to the student. Meanwhile, if we were going through with online learning process, the class will still ongoing even though the lecturer might have some problems by watching the recorded learning video that have been prepared earlier by the lecturer. We also agree that online learning process is better when we can save more budget and do not spend so much compared to face-to-face learning. This can be seen when those students no longer have to pay monthly transportation fee, they no longer have to pay monthly house or hostel rent, and also they can save more when they do not have to spend so much on foods. Especially, foods outside their college is quite unreasonable for some students. It is so reasonable just to spend money on monthly internet subscription and we can study peacefully in our home environment.